on it, I'm suggesting shakers and things like that. And Brian is our local shaker expert. If you will look at his technique, he's mastered it. So here we go. What's my hurry in this fury? God is holding me now. Untie the knot in.
We begin this life by trying on stories, refining stories. What stories are yours to embody? Who am I? Am I a tiger cat?
You're not paying any attention to it. This is.
I'm listening to it.
You gotta watch.
Relax my hands and rest my eyes. Take a deep breath. Realize that I can do this. I'll get through this. God is holding me now. In this moment, I'll step aside. I will let go and let God provide. Find my center, let love enter. God is holding me now. We'll sing that a little bit again. Find my center, let love enter. God is holding me now. Thank you.
We are indeed blessed today. Blessed to have Luchan Baker come to speak with us and give us the lesson. Luchan's come from the East Bay, and we are grateful he crossed the bridge, and we look forward to what you have to say. Luchan.
Morning. Forgot how right before I talk here, we really dig deep. Now I'm ready to just have service instead of talk. Thank you so much. The universe provides. This was a topic my wife decided for us to go with. Like, I'm ready for us to talk about abundance. And I realize when it comes to abundance and prosperity, this is often a topic I like to stay away from. See, it comes to something difficult we're going through, yeah, we can talk about that. I can go there with you. When it comes to things we're afraid of in the world, as far as world peace and famine and all these things that are on our mind, I can go with that too. But when it comes to talking about abundance and prosperity, I tend to get caught up there. I keep telling myself I don't believe in lack and limitation, but then again, I stay away from this topic. Why? First of all, let's just address the truth. There is no you and God. There is only God. There is only God. You are made from the exact same ingredients that created this thing called the universe and the stars and all these beautiful things we like to look at. That is in you. And just to make sure you know I'm not just some hippie up here saying things to make you feel better, I have proof to back that up. A man did a video recently where he showed how different characteristics of the universe go inside our body at the same time. How a Milky Way looks like our pupils dilating. How a cell being reborn looks like certain wavelengths in the way we think. And your lungs, there's a design in our lungs that looks exactly like the tree of life. Everything that goes on in the universe is going on in your body exactly right now. There is no separation between us and the universe. Just as the ocean is full of individual drops, it's really all the ocean is. Everyone in here is individual drops of the ocean of God. There's no separation. Period. There is no separation. Now let's look deeper inside our bodies and we'll realize that much of what we want, what we're looking for, those things we want, that fancy car, right? Oh, that just so nice and stylish, shiny set of shoes that we just have to have. All these things, it's not really the thing we are looking for, but the feeling that we get from that thing. Oh, don't I look so beautiful? You looked beautiful before you put those shoes on. Oh, isn't this car just so flying? Don't I look like established? You already look like that. Why? The reason you want that feeling is because it's already in you. Now, I did not grow up with the Bible, so this is very fun for me because I realize that as someone who grew up in New Thought, the Bible is metaphysical. And so we get to talk about this part of the Bible that is really fun for me called the golden cow part. Remember the story of the golden cow? I don't have time to go fully into it, but what I will say about the golden cow is that the golden cow represents consciousness. Anything we look to outside ourselves represents the golden cow. Everything you need is within you right now as we speak. There is no separation between you and God. So what's beautiful about this is that same feeling that is already in us, that we think we will find in this thing, this career, this degree, this whatever it is we're pursuing. Those things aren't bad. But what if? What if while we're pursuing these things, because God is abundant, you are supposed to have what you desire. What if we decided to already have that feeling while we're pursuing it? I'm realizing now this is how we get what we want. Prime example is, when I was younger, I had this thing with talking. Really? An aspiring minister always talking, right? I could not, to save my life, stop talking in class. I couldn't do it. It wasn't until Dad started reminding me of, son, everything you're afraid of doing, you end up doing because you think of it too much. I was like, wow, he's right. Even in sports, when I played as a young man, the coach would always give me a play where I was getting the ball, which means I was afraid, and I would always have these excuses. Well, coach, what if I this? And finally, the coach just had to answer every question with don't. Well, what if I miss the ball, coach? Don't. What if I drop the ball, coach? Don't. What if I'm not there when the quarterback? Don't do that. Just don't. What a concept. Don't. What if we decide in this moment to feel that security of what it feels when our bank account looks like the way we want it to look? What if we just decide to feel that security? Because at the same time, all those things I was afraid of doing, I would think about that more than the don't the coach was giving me. Now, what happens when we think about the very thing we're not supposed to be thinking about? If I tell everybody in here right now, don't think of elephants, what are you thinking about right now? You're laughing, so I take it we're on the same path here. What we think about most is what we see. Why? Because the universe only knows one word. Now, a lot of us, we hear that, we're like, wow, I have the power of the universe, and it feels good. We get arrogant, right? That's the fun part. There's another part to that, which means that everything we see in our lives that we're not too happy about, You have the power of God in you, which means you put that there. No, 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 no. Not the thing itself, but our judgment of the thing. If everything around me is God, and if I am a divine being of God, then my number one assignment is to see God in every single thing I see. That politician you did not vote in, sorry, that's God. That coworker who always has something to say to you when you do not like talking to this person, yeah, that's God too, sorry. We get to see the abundance of the universe in everything we see, regardless of opinions, regardless of ideas of what things should be. We get to see the divine. That's our only job. We are what we attract. We are what we attract. You know that person you love in your life who always is complaining, like always? Yet things are always happening to them. Remember that everything we say is an affirmation. So if the universe is always saying yes, then me complaining regularly, I'm only going to see more what I'm complaining of. All the time. I'm laughing about it because I remember that time I was that teenager always complaining. As I would complain more and more, I started realizing I was seeing more of what I was complaining about all the time. We are just that powerful. Right where you sit, right now, where you're sitting, there are millions of miracles going on in your body right now. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe how powerful you are, how strong your faith is right now, let's talk about your breathing. Has anyone ever actually seen air before in here? So no one in here has actually ever seen what air looks like. Yet you rely on this very thing, this very concept none of us have ever seen. We can't even prove it exists. But yet you're breathing right now all the time. You don't even think about the fact that you breathe. It's involuntary to you. That's how powerful God is. You rely on this thing, yet you can't even see it. And with faith, you keep on breathing in and breathing out as if it's not even anything to think about. Your faith is already that powerful. Whatever it is we want in life, we can just feel the feeling right now, and that's how it manifests. What we feel repetitively, what we think about with passion is what we see in our lives. There is no way to get away with it. What if I allow myself to feel that security? What if regardless of what I'm seeing, I decide to feel it? I have friends who are not ever coming home again for things they've made, decisions they've made in their lives. Yet, every time I see a picture that they send me, they're smiling, they're happy, they're doing things within this institution to better themselves. What I'm realizing is their bodies may be locked up, but this is a free person we're looking at. On the flip side, I have people who have never been to jail in their lives, and they are in prison. Oh, make all the money I would love to be making right now, have all the prestige in their lives, yet they are always complaining. Complaining they get to go to the event that I want to go to. You complaining that you're going to the black and white ball? You're complaining about that? Freedom is a consciousness. It's a consciousness. We can decide to be in prison right now. We can decide to be as free as we've ever been right now. What channel do you want to turn to? Because you are holding the remote. Thinking of God as something outside of me, it's comforting. Then I don't have to be responsible for anything. I'm off the hook. It's not my fault, it's God's. But when someone reminds me of what my power is, while I'm crying, while I'm acting hopeless, when somebody tells me, you know that this is all your decision, all you're doing, all your consciousness. First of all, I'm not going to be happy to hear that. But truth is truth. What are you deciding right now? See, I have a certain goal in my mind when it comes to finances. I don't share it with anyone. And I'm realizing that part of why I don't share it with anyone is because there's that doubt in me that I might not get there. See, we're talking about faith right now. When we talk about prosperity, what we're really talking about is faith. Do we really believe? Do we have faith in the concept that the universe provides? Do I? Well, if that was true, I would be sharing my idea. I'd be talking to those who I know have the power and the consciousness I need to support me in that, but I don't share it. Why? Because there's a part of me that feels I won't get it. So I don't share it. And regularly I'm wondering why. Well, I have this goal I'm trying to get to, and I'm not getting it there. Talk to God about it. See, I share everything else. I talk about how my football team isn't playing the way I'd like them to play. I talk about that coworker I just told you all about who always has something to talk about. I talk about all these other things faithfully, but the things I want, what am I talking about? I'm talking about all the things I don't want, which is why I am seeing it. Some of us, and I'm not talking to nobody but me right now, if it happens to resonate with you and we're just on the same frequency, but some of us have more faith in what we don't want to happen than we do to have to. Some of us just have more faith in the things we don't want happening. I invited you to the party, and before you even decided you were coming, it's probably gonna, this is gonna happen. Hold on, don't do that to my party. Wait, you ain't even got here yet. When are we ready to just speak into existence the very thing we want to happen? My mother told me when it was this event I did not want to go to, she said, you can decide before you even get there that it's everything you need it to be, son. You can just decide that. You can decide people are smiling at you already, that there are people who want to see you, that people have these same ideas and same corny TV shows they watch just like you, and you can talk about it with them, but instead I was going to the negative. Who's ready to be richer than they have ever dreamed before? Who's ready for that? Is there anything wrong with that? That's the other part I have to get over. There's a part of me that felt like wealth was a bad thing. When truthfully, everyone in here has access to all the wealth of the universe at their fingertips right now. Right now, in this moment, thank you, I need that. That is encouraged, by the way. We just had a prime example of abundance right here. Our Reverend just told us that this represents the burning power of God within all of us. That means that this flame right here, everybody has one. And we already know what happens with fire when it gets together. It gets real abundant. It gets very abundant. That means that right now in you, you have this flame. You have enough flame in you to let it catch, to set the world on fire. Literally, we can do that. But a lot of us are taught to play small. Why is that? Well, I have my own concept, so I'm a big old hippie, so roll your eyes if I start going into conspiracy theories, but here's one we might can get with. If I tell you that you are incomplete with this very thing I'm trying to sell you, then I can sell it to you a lot easier. That's what a salesperson does. It's the best tactic ever. You know, if I'm a young teenage guy and I want to meet a girl because I want a girlfriend, and I leave the house and he says, hey, looks like you got a lot of zits on there, my friend. Look at that face of yours. You're not going to meet any girls with those zits. Now, see, if I know I'm beautiful regardless of appearance, I know if I have the beauty of God in me, I don't necessarily need your product. I'll find somebody who loves my zitty face. But when I start letting what you're telling me about me affect me, well, now I'm at your mercy. You can sell me anything you want. Every idea you've ever had that someone told you that's stupid, don't do it, that was $1 million idea. No millionaire ever gave their idea out and everybody said, oh, that's great, you should do it. No, they got ridiculed too. They just didn't listen. Which voice are we listening to? Please don't throw me in jail for this, but I'm going to just be honest with you. I have two. I have two voices. I have that one voice of God that we all recognize as God. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are this. I hear that voice, but then there's that other voice too. You know, that EGO voice, edging God out. That voice who always convinces me, oh, stop including the universe in everything. Stop including God in everything we do. We don't need that. We can do it ourselves. And I try it, and yes, it's okay when I do it, but let's be honest. What we do on our own is good, but is it God good? We have the best business partner we can ever have right there at our fingertips. What business partner is better than God? What? And here God is ready to guide us to our $1 million idea. And it's all right, I got it. You got it, all right, fine, because you know God isn't a hater. All right, go ahead. But we know when we include God, it's way more awesome than we can ever imagine, way more. Whatever it is you desire, include God in it, no matter how weird, no matter how unorthodox, whatever it is you're thinking of, God has got it. You have that idea because God gave it to you. But we've all been damaged. We've all been hurt. We've all hurt ourselves in this life experience. So remember that who we share our ideas to, they may include their own personal pain too. It's not their fault. If I've never had a good relationship before and you telling me you're getting married, do you really think I'm going to have anything good to say about it? That's why you don't share it with that person. This is what church is for us to get around like minds and for you to tell me what's on your heart and for me to tell you your prayer is my prayer too. That is abundance. That's all I need. That's all I need from you. All I need is for when I tell you what's on my heart for you to tell me I am in alignment with you. That's all I need. Just one person to tell me that, and I got it. Just like wealth is a consciousness, so is broke consciousness. Lack consciousness, poverty consciousness, that is a real thing. ESPN does these things called 30 for 30. You know, if you're a sports fan like me, you love ESPN 30 for 30. And they did this 30 for 30 on players who go broke after they retire. And it was all my favorite players. Like, wow, I didn't know him too. And oh, wow, that's okay. Nobody was exempt from this. Female players and just all pronouns were going through this thing where when they finally leave the league, they start having money problems. Well, let's just talk about some of my favorite players. You take this kid from the projects who nobody around them has shown them how to use the energy of money properly. And, you know, just one day you're eating peanut butter sandwiches through the entire week. And just like that, you graduate from, well, you don't graduate, but you get drafted from college and you get this big old check and there's just money everywhere and you're swimming in. That can freak you out. And if you have those same habits with money you had before, but now you just have a lot more money, that consciousness never went anywhere. What if we just worked on our consciousness and didn't have to work on anything else? What if that was all it? What if that was it? Now, I've already explained how we're using this thing called air, something we can't even see, and we rely on it, and we breathe in so much. See, here's the thing about air. We breathe it in, not even thinking about the fact that, hey, maybe somebody else needs all that air you're sucking in, Luchan, with your big old nose. Because we know there's enough for everybody. There's never a point to where I can't say your prayer is my prayer too. Because there is enough for all of us to get our needs met and more. That's how abundant God is. Not only is every word a prayer, every thought is a prayer. Every emotion is a prayer. Every belief is a prayer. Every action is a prayer. Every non-action is a prayer. So it's not enough for me to just tell y'all I believe this. Oh, you know, God is all there is. Okay, Lucia, but what's going on in your mind really? It's easy for me to stand up here and just act like I got it all together and I never have a moment where I want to scream and go running. It's easy for me to do that. Right now we are in this beautiful community we all love. I have to give y'all props. I always come here nervous because I'm always trying to impress you, and I always remember, this is your community. Chill out. These are your people. But with that comes this. While we are in this building, it is very easy for us to nod our head and smile. That's the easy part. When you leave these walls and we come in contact with those who may not have the same belief, can we smile and nod our head like that then? See, that's the test. That's the fun part. When we get tested, when we are right there with someone who does not have any idea what we're talking about, and we get to say, I see you right there, God, too. It's supposed to be a challenge. We wouldn't appreciate it if it wasn't a challenge, just a little bit, right? We know that when we complain, we are pushing away our own blessing. If you really believe you can have it, there's no reason to complain. I always knew when my mother offered, like, okay, we're going to get a treat after dinner, be it ice cream, be it, I eat all the sweets, anything you name, my mother would use that to get us to act right and eat our lima beans. I knew if I ate my lima beans, I was going to get a treat. That was a scientific fact. There was no research I needed to do. I knew that that's what it was. I did not like math in high school, mainly because I'm a new thought person. I need, the answer can't just be the same. There has to be alternative answers because that's what it is in new thought. Everything's an alternative answer. Yeah. We're laughing because we know we're like that. Well, with math, it's always the same thing. 2 plus 2 was always going to be 4. The reason why I would always have problems with math is because I'd always be trying to find ways to prove, well, not always, see? No, stop it. It's 4. Boy, put it on the paper. Just like in math, everything in the universe has a formula we can follow. There is a formula to manifesting the things we want out of life. And if we follow the formula correctly, it will manifest. All we have to do is trust the math. All we have to do is trust the equation. Trust the universe. When we complain, we give the universe mixed emotions. If I say this is what I want, I am one with God, that is one with me, and so it is. If I say that, I don't then get to go back to, I just can't wait till I get so-and-so because so-and-so is what's going on in my mind, and I can't stand this. Why are you even going back to that consciousness? You had it right there. What are you doing? We all do it. We all do. I'm just talking about my stuff up here because I don't like talking about it in front of my wife because then she's going to be doing all this and then I have to hear her mouth. See, she's not here today, so I get to tell on myself. We all do it. But let's remember the power of our mind, the power of our consciousness. Once we declare it is ours, that is our only job, is to keep remembering that it is ours. It was yours before you ever got it anyway. Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith says that if you can see it, it is a part of you. The whole reason you want to see it is because you and that thing are on the same frequency. It's calling you. It wants you to be in its life. This thing called money. It only has the power we give it. We know that, right? Money's valuable because we keep participating. So the fact that we keep participating, remember, when we see a Bezos or a Steve Jobs or whoever, that person is rich because we're participating. We help that person. That's how powerful you are. There is no separation between you and God. You are already born into this kingdom, this beautiful thing where there's an overflow of abundance. When I say the universe provides, what am I saying? I am talking about the overflow of God. God gives from the overflow, and here's the other beautiful thing. We get our blessings from each other. This is how God shows us the power of love. We get our blessings from each other. When I ask for something, I have to have my eyes open and know there's going to be someone who has that blessing you asked for. I don't get to just pray for a 1987 Grand National with the stock wheels and just decide, oh, yeah, God will just place it right there on the road for me with the keys in it. No, player, no. But there will be someone who has that for you. Is your heart open to allow this person into your life? Is your mind, is your consciousness, are the possibilities in your mind open to where you can allow this thing you are looking for to come into your life? You know, when we want something new in our life, we got to make room for it. We do. I can't be like I want a new partner, but then I'm still like just staying in the house and never going anywhere to meet anybody. How are you going to meet that person? How are you going to make room? You don't even clean your house up so when the person does come over, they're going to want to stay. If I pray for it, I have to then begin behaving as if it's on its way. That's the hard part. For me to pray for this new job that takes care of all my needs. It doesn't just pay me well. I got great insurance. I got great coworkers. I have all this. How do I get to act now? Because behavior has everything. If I am broke, I don't get to pray for prosperity and then continue behaving like a broke person. That's the part I got to remember. I want to lose weight, but I also want to eat what I've been eating. Well, listen, that sends the universe mixed emotions. If you want to be different, you get to also act differently. It's really that easy. This is me talking to me. I keep reminding y'all. I don't have the courage to talk to myself yet in the street. Once I do that, I'll probably find another thing to do. But right now, I need y'all here so I don't have to feel weird about it. When we say we want something new in our lives, we get to be something new too. And we live in a realm of infinite possibility. We can be whatever we want. We can morph into whatever consciousness we're looking for. When it's time for us to have something new in our lives, we get to make room for it. So when I was telling my mom back in the 90s when I was going to high school, you know, you couldn't go to my school without having a fly pair of sneakers on, especially Jordans. And my father, though he made plenty of money, was always like, look, boy, I know that you may not like the Mervyn's clothes I get you, and that's fine. But if you want that other stuff, you have to get yourself a after-school job. You keep your grades up, then I can. So that's how I was able to do that for myself. It was a very valuable lesson because here's where I learned that when we hold on to our old things, we create clutter in our lives. So here's the metaphor. I have this closet full of clothes I'm ready to let go because I want new clothes. And I have this job that's allowing me to get the new clothes. But I'm not letting the old clothes go. I don't even wear them anymore. I'm just hoarding them. This is how we create clutter in our lives. Because those old things that no longer serve us, we get to let those things go. But a lot of us, even if it's something painful, it's been in our lives so long. Who am I going to be if I let this go? And that's where I get caught up at. Because even if it's painful, it defines me. I can't let this thing go. But guess what? That new thing that'll take that very pain away that's trying to come into your life, it can't because I have not created any space for it. This is why I love garage sales. A garage sale is the perfect metaphor for this. I'm ready for some abundance in my life, so I'm letting these old things go so some new things can come into my closet. I talk about clothes a lot, I'm sorry. Once we have said our prayer, once we have given it to the universe, we get to then behave as if we already have the thing we're looking for. This creates an energy in us. This creates a different walk, a different consciousness. And like I said, the universe only says yes. John 14:12. Bear with me. It's one of my favorite Bible verses here. Very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will also do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these because I am going to the Father. Now this is Jesus telling us straight up, you are no different from me. Now Jesus ain't going to lie to us, right? I mean, why would Jesus lie? So if Jesus is telling us you are no different from me, these same miracles I perform, you can do it. Now here's the fun metaphysical part, see, because the water to wine thing is awesome, and the walking on water thing is awesome, but I know that it can also be metaphors. The world is 70% water. Every living thing on the planet has water within it. Everything. Even a rock, you squeeze the water hard enough, you get some water out that thing. What does that mean? That means that in order to allow something new in our lives, we have to go to the very foundation in which we came from. Everything came from water. Everything came from the ocean. The first living thing on the planet came right out of the ocean. So in order to change our lives, we get to go back to the foundation. We get to start with square one. In the beginning, there was God. You started from that, which means when it's time for us to have something new in our lives, we get to go right back to that foundation. You are perfectly whole and complete right where you sit. The only thing we get to change is our consciousness. You get to remember that regardless of what you are seeing, you are whole, perfect, and complete right where you are. This is why when you told a Jerry Rice or a Michael Jordan you're getting the ball, you didn't even have to worry. They scored before you even gave them the ball. They decided when they came to the game, I'm a winner. I'm a champion. You can't stop anybody like that now. Just remember this. With being a millionaire, with being a champion, you get to have millionaire champion responsibilities too. And we get to welcome those. See, I don't get to have broke dude responsibilities anymore. I'm a millionaire now. Now I get to have millionaire problems. And we get to welcome them and smile for them because we asked for that. So I was laughing at my niece. She wanted a baby for so long. You know, I've been married. We've been married. We got the house now. Now I want a kid. And when she called me complaining about the parts about having a kid that she didn't realize, I was like, hey, you don't get to complain. That's what you wanted. And there are people who would love to have those problems right now. I would love to have those problems. Oh, I got to take all this money to the bank now and all this heavy money. Oh, this just such a bummer. I would love to have those problems. Don't you dare complain about that to me. So let's also remember that with coming into a new life, a new consciousness, we get to accept the responsibility of that too. Who's ready to have a hurt back because they're carrying all that money to the bank? I am. In closing, I just want to remind us all that there is no shortcut to this. Oftentimes when we say we're spiritual people, at least me, I get those people who aren't really that spiritual but come to me with this kind of arrogant attitude and, oh, well, you know, I mean, if it works for you, then how come you're not in a mansion by now? And I tell people, look, it doesn't mean that I don't have to do the work. It's not like I just talk to God and, oh, well, since you talk to me, you get it before everyone. No, I still got to do the work. I still get to work on my own consciousness. I'm just telling people it works. And just because at times I may fall back into my victim consciousness, it doesn't mean this philosophy doesn't work. There is no shortcut. We still get to do the work. And there is more than one way to get there. I'm just saying that this is a way that also works. If we stay where we are and remember that in the beginning there was God. There was this perfect force of God creating literally everything out of nothing. That's how powerful we are. The moment I take that responsibility on again, and allow myself to be that for myself, I see a different result. And I say this because if we all can be in agreement to hold each other accountable to the God force all of us are, and I'm seeing it in all of us right now, if we can do that, if we can hold each other accountable, we can see a room full of people who are getting the blessings they want and deserve. You desire it because you deserve it. Namaste. And so right now in this moment, we go within. We go back to that source, that foundation, that power, that everything. It is known by many names because it is just that abundant. We go to the infinite, to the prosperous, to the abundance, to the overflow of God, where the answer is always yes. In this perfect life of God, I am declaring prosperity and abundance. That this overflow runs through all of our lives. That finances are taken care of, bills are taken care of, the bank accounts are fat and beautiful, the pockets are taken care of. There is money to lend out, to give as a gift, to invest. There is an overflow of God's resources running through our lives right now. We say yes. We allow it in our lives, no matter how frightening, no matter how inconveniencing it may be, we allow it in our lives. And we say thank you in advance. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Thank you. I give thanks for this service, for everyone who set up, for our music ministry, for our congregants, for our youth, for they are our leaders. I'm rejoicing in this because I know the universe only says yes. So thank you in advance, Spirit. Thank you for the abundance and prosperity. Thank you for the bills being paid on time. Thank you for health. Thank you for perfect and divine love. Thank you for this and so much more. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I release knowing all is well. And as we stay in meditation, I say, and so it is. Right where you sit, you are a blessing. Right where you sit, you are the answer and blessing to someone else's prayer. And that's the abundance we look for. We get our blessings from each other, and you are a blessing to someone else. So as you sit, see yourself as that blessing, as that healing light of God. Ask yourself, how can I be a blessing today? How can I demonstrate the abundance of God by being a blessing to someone else? Just continue focusing on your breath. We breathe. We recognize the blessings that we are. We accept it. We stand in it. And we represent this healing, prosperous energy of God.
Thank you, Luchan. You're exciting, inspiring, spirit-filled speaker. We are grateful to have you here today. And what are we? We are an ocean of love. We are an inspiring vision. We have an exciting mission and compelling values by which we strive to live. So please join me in saying them aloud. Our vision is, centered in God, we co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is, we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are, we are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And in this space, feeling so inspired by our vision, mission, and values, and feeling so enriched by what we've experienced here today, let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. As Michael shares the next song, please take the time to write out a check to USC, or if you're on Zoom, to make a donation online. If you are here in the sanctuary, the ushers will come forward to take your offering. Practicing the principle of tithing ourselves as a spiritual community, we are pleased to tithe 10% of the offering collected every Sunday to various unity organizations and local nonprofits serving our city. Let us now take a moment to bless our tithes and love offerings as we cup them in our hands or hold them next to our heart. Let us say our offering blessing, which is on your screen. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Okay, it's going to be another percussion fest. Should you be so inclined, just come up and grab something. Well, I feel pretty good and I don't like to brag. I'm not into complaining because I can't be a drag. I must admit there has been a minute when I looked at my life and God wasn't in it. Never exactly said the word, but I'll be darned, the universe heard. It felt just like the point of a knife saying, excuse me, dude, get God in your life. Well, I don't beat my own drum. I'm too busy playing. I like to help out. Hey, I'm just saying, sometimes I forget who I should be thanking that I got what I got and my career ain't tanking. I love my kids and my family too, and there's someone else who pulled me through. I was brought to this church by my lovely wife saying, excuse me, dude, get God in your life. Well, there has been a moment when things got dark, and it sure wasn't a walk in the park. And I dialed up our fearless leader and said, help me out, man, because I'm a believer. Well, I crept to the edge, looked over the side, and I said to myself, this is no place to hide. Just when you're thinking you're off the track, wham, God's got your back. Ooh. Cause I never exactly said the word, but I'll be darned, the universe heard. It felt just like the point of a knife saying, excuse me, dude, get God in your life, yeah. Better get it in your soul. Come on now. It's easy. It's real easy. You just kind of sit there and just let it come in. Thank you.
Please join me in blessing our tithes and offerings. Spirit of the living God, bless the acts of our hands, our minds, our hearts. May everything offered here at Unity Spiritual Center be a reflection of all that is good within us. Grant us the courage to patiently listen for the stirring of your presence. Enliven our spirits with humor. Fill us with reverence for one another and gratitude for our diversity. May unity, beauty, and truth be the fruit of all we do, and so it is. Amen. We are grateful for so many things, and I am grateful for those who have made this service possible, starting with, of course, Luchan Baker, to Michael Hatfield and the Rhythm Aces,
Yes. The percussion section.
to Ben Gazzardi for not making me have to do Zoom on the to our greeter Kathy Russell and our usher Adrian Edens. We are grateful for all of you. Our announcements are the daily word readings and guided meditations will not meet tomorrow since it's a holiday, and I don't know what I'll be doing at noon. But we will resume on Thursday. We always have opportunities for volunteers to be a platform assistant, to be an usher, a greeter. Just let me know, and you will be there. Next Sunday, don't miss it. Next Sunday is our homecoming and annual town hall meeting. It'll be in the sanctuary and on Zoom. But please come and fill the sanctuary. We will have special events going on and a chance to look at our future and who we are as a community. And we want your feedback. In the newsletter that you got today or on the back of the table, there's a blue questionnaire. Fill it out and leave it in the basket on the back, or you can go online and fill it out. The link is in our weekly newsletter. And I think, yes. So now let us bless our children. Oh, right. We have another announcement. Oh, okay. Sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Hello, everybody. I'm thankful I get to make an announcement today because I am so filled with the Spirit with our service today and that knowledge that we are all together and not separated from God. So I just want to say that. Dear Zoom people, I say hello. I miss you guys on Zoom, but I see you. And I want to invite everybody, Zoom and non-Zoom, to meet us. Unity is going to get together and help out our community on September 17th at 8:30 in the morning. So if you're a rise and shine kind of person, be there with us. My family will be there. We're going to help out the San Francisco Public Works and clean up the neighborhood in District 4. So it's Love Our City Neighborhood Beautification Day, September 17th at 8:30 in the morning at Sunset Elementary School, which is on 41st Street. And Ortega, but it'll be in our newsletter as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Reuben. Yes, it is an excellent idea to be involved in the community. So now let us bless our children. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you, empowering you to do great things.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So let us go forth into this day and to the coming week, knowing that the universe does indeed provide, that God overflows into our lives and overflows into the lives of those around us through us. We go into the week grateful, and we go knowing that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. Thank